Will this help me? Is this a good one? I often hear this from patients worried about their health as they show me the supplement they just bought, promising improved memory and overall health. It's not just patients though, it was also my mom who was battling Alzheimer's. Are you wondering if supplements are worth the money? Is there one that is right for you? Let's talk about it. Now I'm going to give you the answer to this question right away so you don't have to wait, but I'm hoping you'll stick around so I can explain. There is no supplement that will cure your diabetes, your dementia, your heart disease, or any other chronic disease, no matter what the label says. So please save your money. There are no miracle cures, or we'd all be living to 150 years old and beyond. But, and here is the big but, this does not mean that all supplements are bad, useless, or a waste of money. If you're someone with not a lot of disposable income, please don't fall prey to marketing. My mom lived on her own for quite a long time when she had Alzheimer's disease. She was able to manage quite well with family close by. But one of the things that we found with her being so health conscious and being such a reader and such a lifelong learner, that she was still reading. And sadly, one of the things that kind of she lost as she got further into the Alzheimer's is her awareness and caution. So she would fall prey to all types of marketing on labels. And being a Finnish person, she had very fine Finnish hair. And as you get older, and she wasn't on hormones at all, like HRT, so she was having thinning hair issues. So she was buying bottles and bottles of supplements that were promising thicker, fuller hair supplements. And she had this Tupperware type of a drawer system that could move around. It had lots of drawers. And I'd go look through them, and she'd have so many things. You know, she was very conscious of, her bones. So she had calciums, magnesiums. She had everything. I can't even remember, but they were all, supposed to help. I just feel so bad about that. And then I see these patients that come into the clinic, and they always end up asking me something about what can help them with their memory. Usually they come into the family doctor's office, and I see them for various things, lifestyle, health issues, and cognitive assessments. And they would ask me, I saw this bottle and I bought this. What do you think? Do you think this will work? So then we end up talking about all these things that I'm just going to mention to you now, because it's so important that we're aware and that we don't waste our money on things that really may not benefit us but may actually harm us. So I have here 8 important considerations for you to think about if you are even thinking about supplements and even wondering if they're even of any benefit. So let's start with number 1. Do you have a specific gap in your diet? That's kind of number 1. Supplements are not to replace your diet. Healthy eating is number 1. So that's really where you should be looking at, is if there is something that you're deficient in. Sometimes it's that you have too much of something, there's an excess. So you have to be very careful that you're not taking supplements. And I want us to say that do not take any advice from somebody on the internet. No medical information is valid unless you're getting it in consultation with your healthcare practitioner based on your unique needs. So just beware of that. An example of supplementing when you have a specific gap is, for instance, me eating predominantly plant-based. If you're vegan, eat plant-based, you need to supplement with B12. It's something that, unless you're eating a lot of fortified foods with B12, you need to supplement, because it's something that we kind of get through eating meat. The other thing is vitamin D is very important in climates where you don't get a lot of sun. So that's something very important. So there's very specific things that we can supplement with that are known to have really good benefits. Number 2 is get your blood work done if possible before supplementing. Depending on where you live in the world. In Canada, they really do test if they're looking for illnesses, but if it's more preventative and you're wanting to find out certain levels, a lot of times we have to pay for that. And I ended up doing private pay lab work. My husband had done Inside Tracker, and then maybe a year or so later, I opted to try it. they take your blood and then they do a whole host of assessments to see everything from your calcium, D levels, everything to find out if you're deficient. And it costs money, so not everybody can afford that. But if you're able to get blood work done, then that would be the best kind of a tool to use to see if you're lacking in anything. First, try to fix with your diet and lifestyle, and then if that doesn't work, then you can supplement. Number 3 is safely incorporate supplements into your health routine. So supplements should be just an adjunct to your lifestyle. They should be an adjunct to your healthy diet. Only support where there's a deficiency and not use it as a catch-all for, trying to get a quick fix for something, because they don't work. I was, for instance, recommended to take curcumin, which is the component in the spice turmeric. So I use turmeric, but I don't use it, so heavily that I would see the benefits from it. So I did supplement for a long period of time for a particular problem that I was having with inflammation, and I thought it did help me. So there are studies done on various nutrients, some more than others, but a lot of times it can also be a placebo effect. But however, if you find that it works, that's good. I don't think it's a problem. If you can afford to pay for it, you think it's working, then that's a good thing. Supplements for women over 50 that you should consider. There's quite a few, like I mentioned, B12, vitamin D, there's calcium, magnesium, because we really need to look after our bones when we get into the perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause era, because that's important. But it's also important to do a lot of other things besides supplementing. That includes weight-bearing type of activities to really improve the bone density. Then there's omega-3s, and then probiotics, prebiotics, things like that. So those are really good ones to try to use if you need them. Number 5 is know what you're paying for. Many people spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on supplements, but do you really need them? You really need to do your research. Not only research on if you actually need the supplement, but research on the company or the brand you're buying. They don't have the same standards in most countries for supplements as they do for pharmaceuticals. So it's really important that you do your own research, find out about the company and about their testing, about the ingredients in their supplements. Supplements can be part of a healthy lifestyle for sure, but they should be on top of eating a well-balanced diet, exercise, getting enough sleep, managing stress, and so on. Those are the pillars of health, and they should be looked at first. And never try to replace any one of those with supplements, because you'll only end up with a shortcoming and it could be detrimental to your long-term health. Number 7 is don't get caught up in the marketing hype like my mom and a lot of people do. If sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. If they're promising you get rid of your brain fog and erase those wrinkles, it's probably not going to happen. Be very critical of exaggerated claims on those labels, because like I said, it's a fairly unregulated industry, so it's really buyer beware. So the best thing you can do for yourself, and that's number 8, alternatives to spending on supplements. You look after your diet, eat a whole food plant-based diet, predominantly with lots of fiber and healthy vegetables. Get regular exercise, look after your sleep and manage your stress, and also have lots of good social connections, because that's super important for yourself too. Those are the things that you should look at first before you add any kind of supplements to your diet. If you're thinking of supplementing, talk to your healthcare practitioner, especially if you're on any medications, because they do interact. They do. So it's really important that you look after that. So thank you if you've watched till now, and I would love it if you haven't already, if you could subscribe to the channel. It does help get these videos shown to more people, and I would really love to know your thoughts on supplements. What do you take? Do you think it's important? Do you differ on your viewpoint than what I was just talking about? Leave me a comment, because I think everybody would love to read them also, to find out about everybody's thoughts. And I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.